Hey guys, what's going on? This is Sergeant Merrill, and we're back to the Wasteland in the Arma 3 beta to see how much gear we can collect and how much we can learn about this outstanding title. Alright guys, we're back with Arma 3 in Wasteland, and it looks like they did some updates to the server. And I was worried when I came into the server that my character wouldn't be saved correctly, but as we see, he is. Let's look at the weapon we're currently using, which I can't quite remember. Let's go and open our inventory. That's right. This is the TRG 25.56 millimeter, which is a good weapon. But I tell you what, remember in the last episode, I was looking at that 6.5 Grendel weapon. And I was like, what's the 6.5? What's the 6.5? Did a lot of research on it, and I'm actually really interested, and I'm super upset that I gave up that gun. Now, as I said before, it is a very common gun to find within Arma 3, so I'm hoping I can find it again. Looking at where we are at, I'm probably going to want to go down here to this firing range. We already have it capped, it looks like, but I'm hoping to find maybe that 6.5 Grendel. I can't remember what the weapon was inside of there. Now, what makes me interested about the 6.5 millimeter Grendel round is that I didn't realize, this is a very recent round that was developed. It was developed in America, and the goal is to make it a hybrid between the 7.62 round and the 5.56. So when looking at the effective range of the 6.5, it would significantly increase my range, and I had no idea. I just didn't know enough about the round, and kind of kicking myself in the ass for it. Now, if you ask me, looking at the map like this doesn't really give you the benefit that you need. This is what you need to be looking at, because this is going to show you contour lines. Like looking at the map in this other manner, I wouldn't know how to correctly, aside from looking at the wood line, correctly approach this objective. And I was told if I hit shift and right click, left click, boom, puts a waypoint down. Can I see that when I'm like that? Yeah, there it is. We can see our waypoint. That's kind of cheating if you ask me. I much prefer to navigate the land on my own. But anyway, back to contour lines. If we look at the contour lines, I can see hills. I can see elevation, and that's going to help me a lot better in knowing exactly how to approach this objective. So looking at this, what I would probably like to do to approach this safely, and that's what this is all about. If you guys are here to watch me kill a bunch of people and have action-packed gameplay, that's not really what this game is all about. I'm sure you could jump in here and act like a jackass and get yourself into some quick confrontations, but I'm more about the strategy behind this. And we do have some people talking on our team, so if they come up, we're going to try and ignore them for now. I want to stick on my own for now. Now,
you're the follower.
With these contour lines, I can see that we have a little...
The one on the airfield or the one on the hill?
We're up on a hill right here. We're going to come down, and we're going to come up on this hill, stick near the wood line, and then get a good look down at this objective to see what we're dealing with. We can already tell there's no players in this area, but I'm just going to do a quick recon just to get in the good habit of it, and then we're going to go through these buildings and see what weapons we can find. So I'm going ahead and set my waypoint for right there, because that's where I would like to look down. It's going to be very gradual decline. It's not a very big hill I'm going to be on here, but it's going to be a decline to where I might have a good line of sight on what's going on down there. Now, there are a bunch of objectives going on right now. It seems like the team is working together to take on those objectives, which is nice. And I'm trying to get myself at the right pacing. Is my weapon down? Let's go ahead and bring that weapon down. There's no need to consume more stamina than what is required. And we can almost get a good glimpse of the firing range that I want to go to from here. But I don't want to expose myself too much. What the hell is that? It's a porta potty in the middle of nowhere. Alright. Yeah, there's going to be way too many trees to really get a good look. Is that a tent? I'm telling you, I played way too much DayZ back in the day. Back in the day, it was only a couple months ago. And things that look like a tent draw your eye. Let's go ahead and... Ooh. Now this is a good find. Look at this. Look, I'm already getting money for them capping territories, which is great. It's one of the good things...
Suck a dick.
Okay. It's one of the good things about jumping into an occupied server, but it also comes with a lot more danger. And we're trying to be tactical. We're trying to see how geared up we can get without dying. Me playing Wasteland, I mean, it's just a way for me to learn the game, how to be tactical. I mean, this is going to be the platform that DayZ runs on, the DayZ standalone, which is what I'm really excited about. And if you can get good at Arma 3, you will be good at DayZ. I'm sure there are going to be a bunch of differences. That is very steep incline. But check out this Overwatch. I'm going to bring out binoculars. And when you're coming into an area like this, it's a good idea to first think like, you know, someone who's going to ambush you. Think as they would. Look for the elevated areas on the map. I would not have guessed, based off of this tree line, that I would have such a clear sight on this, but that's something good to keep in mind when you're approaching these things, is just take a look at the map, you know, visualize where you would be if you were trying to kill people coming into here. That's the first thing you're looking for. After you've determined to the best of your ability that it's clear, then you're going to be looking inside of the town. Any movement, anything like that, and then you're slowly going to intelligently make your way there. Like I said, this is very slow gameplay, and it's very tactical, which is what I enjoy about it. It's a big change of pace from the other games that are out there, and not a lot of people like that. Now, what's interesting here, as we jump into first person, you can hear him breathing heavier. When you look in the lower right, we can actually see our stamina. That's something I didn't really notice at first. In the last video, I was looking back at it. And it's interesting to see how the different types of movements draw down that stamina. So ducking down and moving slow, even with the weapon...
I don't see the guy shooting, so I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like they're having some trouble. Even with your weapon down, as we see right here, moving crouched, that's going to slowly withdraw your stamina. That's going to be hard to move like that for any long period of time. I mean, try it yourself. Go into your backyard and try moving around like this for half an hour. You're going to smoke yourself. And that's something that I like to keep in mind, or that I like this game makes you keep in mind, is your movement.
Hey, how do you change optics again?
Get down, get down, get down.
You know, if you're not expecting that much of an engagement,
Button to the right and unlock.
go ahead and
See
pop
in
up.
the ATC tower up there?
What are they talking about? I need to know what's going on. And I'm half tempted to mute them, but
We don't have a gun to be able to hit him from here.
this is all part of learning Arma. I want to know what's going on here and what they're communicating about. I haven't participated with teams that much.
He can take us out as soon as we pop up, so I'm just going to go down.
From what it
Where you
seems
guys at?
like, you know, you cooperate with these people and they all kind of mash together, and they're all
You can
just
shoot through any of these windows.
all just huge targets. Now let's look at our stamina now. It's
Jesus
withdrawing
Christ,
a
what
lot
is that?
slower. So the lesson here,
What the hell is
guys,
shooting all the grenades?
is
I'm going to try to check this truck out and see if
I'm going
it
to meet
works.
these guys. Stand by. We're not going to be working with these people, so let's go to audio and bring down our radio way down so they're not bothering us too much, but we can tell if something crazy is going on. So the lesson with the movement, now that I'm not interrupted, is to only take away as much stamina as you think you need.
What is that?
And that did not withdraw their noise on their voice at all.
Something's blowing the shit out of everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna rush across here. Let's see if I can't still fix that. Options, audio, sound sources. Is it microphone? No. Maybe it's Vaughn. We'll try that. We'll bring that down. Let's hope that does it. So when you're moving around, guys, realize the many different types of stances you can be in and the pace of the movement that you can take, and kind of think ahead of time which one you want to go with. Because the idea is you want to have as much stamina as possible for when you get engaged. If you get engaged and you only have 50 stamina, it's going to be really hard to boogie behind cover. And even when you do, like let's go ahead and do a little example here. Let's go ahead and smoke the shit out of my guy here. We're going to try and bring him down to as little stamina as possible. And this is something that if you play a lot of Battlefield or Call of Duty, it feels natural. Like you just want to sprint everywhere. So let's sprint behind cover. Way over here. We just ran from the wood line all the way down to 39 stamina, 35, 30. Now let's go ahead and pop inside of first person mode. Bring up our weapon. And he is just popping all over the place.
You have a backpack? Oh, no,
your recoil is going to be a lot higher. You're not going to be able to boogie behind cover as quickly. And essentially, you're putting yourself at an unnecessary disadvantage. I wonder if you can actually go in here. It seems you can. And here I have a weapon with absolutely no bullets in it. That's the problem, isn't it? Well, let's go inside. I had other weapons, and they're gone. Yep, click. Alright, let's bring our pistol out. No ammo on that as well. So I'm very happy that I was not in a situation in which an engagement was predicted. Because I have absolutely no ammo. And I'm looking to change that. Gonna look all the way around here for some new guns. Here we go. Looks like we got another 6.5. Boom. And that's actually what I wanted. Where'd it go?
The guy in the pink quad?
Okay, so it went right in there.
How do you know he's a hacker?
Where'd my other... Yeah, see, things get buggy when you come back into the game. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb, but you can.
Alright, so we got our bullpup 6.5 again. And I think my goal now would be hit some type of inventory station. Pick up some ammo, pick up a better reticle. If this thing is supposed to be a hybrid between a 7.62 and a 5.56, we're looking at an effective range at around 500 to 600 meters. And iron sights are not the best for that type of engagement. And I'm going to be curious to see if it's actually effective inside of the game for that. That's just based off of the round itself. I'm not even considering the weapon, which I'm also not familiar with. See, we're smoking ourselves here, and it isn't exactly necessary, so we're going to go ahead and pop up here and move a little bit more intelligently. I'm not as worried about an engagement, simply because there's a lot of other stuff going on, and a lot of the players seem to be revolved around the objectives right now. I'm more worried about gearing up, learning the game a little bit more. We saw in the last video, I made some mistakes, simply because I'm still learning, man. And I think this is the best way to do it. Just jump in, make mistakes. Ooh, gold mine. What we got here? A Katiba with a grenade launcher. So we're going to switch that out.
It keeps moving on my map.
And as we saw, this thing was worth garbage, so it's not even worth the amount of space that it takes up. And these are tracer rounds. What an odd thing to have just lying around. So we're good on ammo. Got 4 magazines in this thing. I'm confident in its reach. So far, this has turned out to be a good idea. And it always is until you get caught with your pants down, right? Now, we are on the KOS server still. This is server 1 if you guys are interested in playing the same server as me. I'm not too concerned about you guys playing at the same times because I play at pretty odd times. So feel free to join. You may just catch me on, you may just not. And this is a really good server. At the time, we have 50 people on this server, which this is a large landscape. But when you get people who are new to the game and just want to get into engagements as quickly as possible, you see a lot of pretty funny stuff happen. Definitely not what we're doing here.
I'm heading after the bounty target.
Let's get our binos out and see what's going on over here. Alright. It's definitely a lot of buildings in the open. They look like they've been bombarded at some time. And as we look up here on the landscape, we do see... Yeah, gotta be careful of those silhouettes that are sitting on the ground. Look at that. We do see a lot of potential sniping areas. Now, I think the area that we're in isn't so much of a threat. But these are always things you need to keep in mind. I just heard an explosion. And there's the general store. So we could head over there and see if they have any sites. I'm not sure what's at the general store. I know they have food and water, which is always something you want to try and keep on you. But this is a very long clearing with a lot of elevation beside it. I'm going to stick away from that. We're actually going to head back to our waypoint here and try and travel along as much foliage as possible. So after doing the research on that 6.5 round, I actually bought not a case, just a box of it. Box of 20 rounds. Just because I think it's interesting. I don't have a weapon to fire it, but I do have a relationship with a number of gun stores in town that might have something. And I'm looking to get my hands on it. It's always interesting to take a look at the different rounds. Have them in your hand. Like when you take a look at the evolution of the standard round in the U.S. military, from the 30-06 to the 5.56, it's interesting to hold it in your hand and just see the mentality of today's warfighting. Is that sunlight on a rock? I'm not sure. We're going to take a quick look. No, we're good to go. You know, before it was all about firepower. And I mean, that's something that I really appreciate about the United States, is that we were more about accurate gunfire with a 30-06 round than with fully automatic fire than we saw with some of our allies that were more about volume, getting the volume out. We saw a lot of smaller rounds come, experimental rounds coming from our allies back in World War II and beyond, because the mentality was the more lead you put down range, the more people you're going to hit. And the United States mentality was, you know, no, we are, for the most part, always going to be firing semi-automatic and only fully automatic in certain situations. And that still holds true today. The 5.56 is what we use for most of our assault rifles today. It's a smaller round. When you hold that thing beside the 30-06, it's incredible to see the evolution. I mean, how much smaller our rounds have gotten. And you know, we've sacrificed a lot of our stopping power, but at the same time, our accuracy has just never been better. And that mentality sticks with me in gaming. I always appreciate a battle rifle, or you know, just a really accurate rifle over a submachine gun, or even a light machine gun. I definitely follow the one shot, one kill mentality. Now we're going to follow this wood line back over here. And look at that little bunny. Now in DayZ, I know you could shoot those things and get some meat from it, but I don't think that's as necessary, and I definitely don't want to give away my position. But it's definitely freaked me out a number of times. You're coming through a bush, and fucking rabbit comes running out. Now, if you're seeing this little blue box over here, that is a friendly. When you're playing Wasteland, you are on one of two sides. In fact, there can be a third side, from what I've seen in some servers, where you can play the civilian or independent side or something like that. I'm not quite sure how that works, but for the most part, when you jump in, you want to be mindful of those boxes because you don't want to kill your own team. This isn't you know, you're not completely on your own. You are supposed to be working with other people. Unfortunately, because of a lot of the attention that this game has gotten, a lot of those people don't really know what they're doing. So be smart about following the crowd in this game, because it will get you killed, and it will feel kind of stupid. And you know what, this game can feel stupid if you're rushing into engagements and die. Then you start at square one, and then you got to run 10 miles, and you know, it's not what it's about. And I'm happy that I get the opportunity to show you guys a little bit more about what you should be considering and maybe how you should be playing. I mean, it's a game. You can play it however you want, but maybe some strategies to maybe help you enjoy it just a little bit more. We're going to rush across here to this bush over here. You know, I wasn't in the infantry, guys. You know, a lot of people think I had a combat MOS, and I certainly didn't. I was actually a public affairs specialist. And we dealt a lot in the media, and we moved with a lot of combat units, supporting them, not necessarily but by being behind them with a camera or anything, but it's our job to ensure that the local public is taken kindly to our presence, and that soldiers stay happy. By stay happy, I mean they're happy with what their military is doing. Write a lot of feel-good articles about what we're doing in the military. But just because I was a non-combat MOS does not mean you don't learn a lot of the essential skills that make you good at a game like this. It's like they say, everybody is a soldier first. Just like in the Marines, they have the same MOS. There is a public affairs MOS in the Marines. Look at that. Wouldn't that be a great position for sniping? I'm not sure how much traffic this area gets, but it does make me a little nervous. Someone would have to be super patient just to wait here, just for this place right here. But the Marines do have the same MOS, and I remember going through training. I trained with quite a few Marines at the Defense Information School, and they would say Marines are always a rifleman first. Even though a lot of people would make fun of that. Let's see. Can you pick up this can of gas? Not that I want to, I just wanted to see if it was interactive, or if I could interact with it. We got nothing here, and man, are these buildings exposed. I think it would be cool to have a combat or a mission, a player-made mission in this particular area. People always like to feel safe when they're inside of a building, and that is not always going to be the case, especially as we see here. What do we got here? Bricks.
In Aggie Marina, we have Blue Corps coming from the southeast down the hill.
Blue 4 coming from the southeast.
Hey, can you guys hear me, or is my mic not working?
Let's see here.
Nobody likes to respond.
So we're gonna hit this general store. Doesn't look like it. Ooh.
Okay.
Now we need to start being careful, guys. As we see, the old transmission station just got taken, and look at all these contour lines. That means this is all coming downhill. So we have two things we need to look out for. Enemies coming down here, looking for that sniping position that I went ahead and pointed out. And they're going to be coming to take this territory because they get a nice amount of cash for that. Why did it? What the fuck? Okay. I just got teleported to the bottom of this thing. And they did a lot to fix a lot of the issues. Oh, we got to move. I'm getting... The hairs on the back of my neck rising. Stamina go to hell. I don't care. We need to get behind cover. I'm worried about those hills up there. Now, while my weapon may have an effective range, and I do hear a vehicle, they're definitely going to be looking to take that. And as long as I stay in this area, they're definitely going to know that I'm here. If you remember in the last episode, I was able to determine if someone was in a general store area just by the markings on the map. So we need to pull out of this area so they don't get wise. See that little area right there? So we're going to put a marker to where I am most concerned. And again, this is where map knowledge, crucial, guys. If they've taken this and they're on their way down here, it looks like they've taken this gun store, doesn't it? I'm not sure. This used to have a little area around it in the last episode. That's where we started out in the episode before we moved down here. Now looking at the map, if they take this and they're moving to this objective right here, they're most likely going to follow down valleys and head into the areas that are going to overlook it the best, as we noticed. That's going to be around this way. And they're going to look at it just like we did. They're going to hit this tree line, look in. Now something that does give us a little bit of an advantage, we are going to know when they hit this area because it's going to turn red. So what do we do? What do we do about this? I can't go inside of the general store. Don't know. What we can do is follow up here, cross this road and overwatch this area and see if there's any activity. We're at a little bit of a standstill right now until I know more. We don't have any teammates around us. We can see that by the map. Most of them look like they're up in this area or something. I don't know. Can I see teammates? Certainly not letting me from this particular view. So, knowledge is king, guys. So we're going to come up here and try and get some more knowledge. I'll go ahead and put an objective right there. I wish I could hit that general store, but it's just not a smart idea. And from here, we're going to be losing some significant stamina. Going from objective to objective, or from cover to cover. Because now we're at a little bit higher sense of alert than we were before. Let's go ahead and tackle this smart. Once you hit cover, you want to kind of look at the next area cover that would be ideal. For me, it's going to be bushes. Love this camo that they have.
Does anybody want to start a squad or just start a group? Can I get
Yeah,
invite?
go invite me.
We're just going to keep eye out and move smart.
I'll do it.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that right there, man. You can see this whole area from up there. That's assuming that they have a sniper rifle. And to get one, you would have to spend a significant amount of time in the game. As we see, whenever we log out and log back in, we lose all of our cash, unfortunately. So to get a sniper rifle, you actually got to kill somebody who has already acquired one, or earn enough cash to buy it from the weapons store. Or you may get lucky and find it as a drop in one of those buildings. Highly unlikely, though. And we're smoking ourselves. If we go in first person, you can hear them breathing hard. And just logging out and logging back in general seems a little wacky. Now, the reason I play in third person mode, I know it's not as immersive, but it does give me a better field of view. And I think there's something to be said about that. You know, people think it's not that realistic. You know, you need to be playing in first person. But if I was actually in this game, you would have a sense of peripheral vision. Like that sixth sense, you know, you would see something in the corner of your eye and you would glance over to it. When you play in the first person, there's no way to really replicate that just yet in a game.
Does anybody know what happened to the general store? In
Let's see what it's talking about.
at the Mr. Bubbles boat.
So nobody's moved down there.
There's no guy
I
in
don't
there.
know what these two red dots mean. Someone said KOS, we have a hacker. If we do have a hacker, guys,
I didn't know.
that sucks. You know, we've played quite a while on this particular run, and I don't want to lose it to a scripter. Like I said, they've done a lot to reduce that. When I first got into the Arma 3 Alpha, we're going to reduce their noise just a little bit more. Stand by. Audio, and it is fine. We're going to bring it down to there. I do like hearing them just a little bit so I can know if they're saying anything important for me. But as I was saying, they did have some problems with hackers in the past. Oh, that freaks me out. But I have seen it get significantly better in the beta, and I'm hoping it gets even better come full release, because that was the main issue I had with Arma 2 and the main issue that I had with DayZ. It made it unplayable. In a game like this, when you spend half an hour, as it's probably already been, I'm not sure how long I am into this particular session, when you spend half an hour going half a mile and only acquiring just a few pieces of gear that are well hard earned because you were so smart about your movement and how you approached the objective and how you watched out for other players and just how you did things so well. It takes a while. And for that all to come crashing down because somebody likes to script and be a jackass, it's so discouraging that it makes you not even want to play. Now, like I said, not much of a problem as we've seen so far here. And I hope to God that really translates over to the DayZ standalone. I know people are going to be super motivated to find a way to script through it. But the fact that the DayZ is a standalone game and that was their downfall in the DayZ mod, I really think a lot's going to be done to address it. I think a lot's already been done to address it. And here we have a road here where we're going. We don't need roads. Here we have a truck. And I hate when you step aside a bush. It takes a half second for it to play the sound. You hear that? Let me brush up against it again. Hear that? Freaks me out every time I hear that. So we have a truck here in front of us. And something you need to be careful about is running up on these things way too quickly. That's not even going to be worth it. See, it's missing its back tire. A lot of people set up the vehicles as traps, especially once they're disabled. They'll leave it where it is, find a good position, kill anybody that gets near it. And it's a good strategy because it works. It could have worked for me if somebody was watching it. But having a vehicle in this game does give you a lot of benefit. They are lying around. They spawn all the time. I want to get off this road in case it's high traffic. Alright, let's take a second to look at this map, see how we're doing. So, I mean, as you've seen, it's been like 10 minutes just for me to approach these objectives. It's a slow-paced game. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope you guys like these sort of videos, because I could do this all day. This is fun for me. In the last video, I got a kill on somebody, only because he was one of those people that rushed into the objective, and it was an easy kill. But we could easily go 45 minutes without coming across anybody. The idea is that you are always prepared for that engagement, so that when it does happen, you're ready. So I worry, you know, I'm going to put out some of these videos and it'll be a 45-minute long video and there's very little action. I hope you guys are enjoying it anyway, as we dive into the Arma 3 beta and learn a little bit more about this game, what we can expect once it's released. And here we're at that area that I acknowledged as a very good one. If we were to snipe down there. Now it's also very open itself. I would like to see some foliage up here. And I'm getting some radial blur to the outside. And you know what that is? My guy's smoked. You see that blur? Maybe you got to be in 1080p to see it. This is one of the problems of reduced stamina. As we're looking through the iron sights, we're bouncing all over. If we're using something that we had to hold our breath to fire, I'm just going to do this for shits and giggles just because I want to see how good of a spot this is. God, look at that Overwatch. Stamina management is king in this game, gentlemen. So this guy running here is on our side. And even if he wasn't, that's way too long to engage with iron sights. He does have a quad though. So that's where... Oh no. Oh no. We're going to try and warn him. Adam, you do have somebody coming in. You do have somebody coming and get off that quad. Stand by, I gotta turn volume up. Okay, I got volume back up. I want you to get inside of the tower there and look to your... Stand by. Look to your southeast. I lost sight of him. He went inside of the long building, the long single-story building. Oh, stand by. Do you see him right in front of you? Directly to your southeast. He's behind the porta potties. Good shit, man. Solid kill. Ah, man. And what did I tell you? What an Overwatch. What an advantage I gave him. He was coming in from behind. It looks like I turned up the volume on the wrong sound. Looks like the radio sound is actually the other players. We're going to turn that just a little bit further up so if I want to communicate with these guys, I can. Actually, no, I didn't hit OK. That's the problem.
Techno, Toby, there's a hacker in the server.
I just heard a horn. Adam, was that your horn that you just honked?
Nope.
I'm way in the hills above you. Let me know if you see any if you see anything. I'll give you a little bit more Overwatch.
Friendly, don't shoot.
I just
Op4 coming up behind you.
I'm seeing... Hey, I'm actually seeing a crate.
Bennett, watch out behind you. There's an Op4 coming around the corner.
A crate to your south, down that road. Stand by. I lost sight of it. There it is. Okay. See that? Yeah. Keep coming to your south. There's like a little dirt path, and I'm seeing a crate of basic weapons.
How are we doing on the...
Look at the advantage you get with Overwatch. Head more... nope. Starting to head the road. Turn to your left. Turn to your left. That path. And then it's going to be on the left side of that dirt path. You see it?
Not yet.
Okay, turn to your right. No, turn to your right. Get back on the path. Turn to your right. Head that way. Back left. You're heading in the right direction. You see the dirt path in front of you?
Yeah.
Follow that and look to the left. You should see it here in about 10 meters.
Yep, got it. Thanks.
If you get anything good, let me know.
Hey, Damn Lee. Damn Lee, can you hear me? If you walk towards the tower over here, there's 4 weapons crates full of stuff that you can have. I just completed the weapons cache, but I already have
man.
gear, so I don't really need it.
What do you got in there, Adam?
There's a MK200 and a Zephyr, and then just like a bunch of basics.
Any 7.62?
Nope, sorry.
You got any 6.5 ammo in there?
Got 20 mags of it.
All right, I'll be down there in a minute.